back to the Angry Chicken, the Hearthstone podcast that sallies forth through the terrible internet service provided by Verizon. I'm Garrett Weinzerl. I am joined tonight by Willie Dills Gregory and Jocelyn Moffat. Welcome back, guys.
Yo!
Hello.
We did it! We beat you, stupid internet provider. We win.
I want everyone right now to tweet at Verizon support that they need to fix my darn internet, because I've spent 8 hours with these bastards over the past week trying to get this fixed. And because I don't have a bad upload speed when I call them, they can't do anything about it.
Sure, they're like, hey man, problem seems fixed to me. And you're like, yeah, right now.
Everything's totally fine.
Yeah. I will admit, working in support, though, sometimes that happens. I feel bad because they're like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, let me check it out. Yeah, it's working. What's wrong?
Yeah.
But it's not working for me. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
This must be what my mom feels like when she asks me for email problems. Like, it's not working, Garrett, and I come over and I click one button. I'm like, Mom, it's working fine. Well, it wasn't working a minute ago, Garrett. You have no patience when you help me with computer things. And I'm sorry, Mom. A, you're right. I have no patience. B, learn how to use email, Mom. Come on. Come on, Mom.
Come on, Mom. Get with the times.
Yeah, exactly. So it's another night. It's another week of Hearthstone, episode 86 of the Angry Chicken. Moving on. A reminder, everyone, Florida Fireside Orlando is coming up real soon. It's going to be in a few Saturdays on June 20th. You can find more info over at meetup.com/Florida Fireside. We are indeed hosting a 16-player Fireside Gathering qualifier conquest format tournament. All 16 slots have already been filled up, but as of right now, the waiting list is very small. So if any of those 16 players drop out for whatever reason, we're going to start going through the waiting list. So if you are interested, there's still a chance. Go sign up. And also, just come out to the Fireside. If you didn't get a slot in the tournament, no big deal. Come hang out. Come play some Hearthstone.
There you
go. Be a good time. So.
And on that note, I'll piggyback your announcement of this and say that the game night tournament that we run every 2 weeks here in San Francisco at Folsom Street Foundry, which is not just Hearthstone, there's all kinds of cool stuff happening there. That's now officially a Fireside Gathering thing too. So if anybody comes to game night normally, you could come now and potentially qualify for BlizzCon. Although it's like we were talking about, you got to qualify for another thing, and then you got to win that thing, and that's the whole thing. But
well, I think all the Fireside people go into like one qualifier.
There's regional qualifiers for them that are online. But if you win one of these things, your name is now in that list, and then you have to win that thing, and then maybe another thing. I don't know. It's a long road to BlizzCon, but it's possible.
One person out of all of these Fireside things will move on.
Look,
is there only one Fireside spot?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. More. I have a better chance of that, though, than finishing like top 100 legend every single month or winning like ESL's tournament or something. Like this actually feels like there's a chance.
This is the way.
There's a chance, doable. Man. Yeah, I won one of these already, so I could do it again. All I gotta do is smork it up.
So are you on the list then?
No, it was before. Yeah.
Oh, it was before it counted.
I should petition BlizzCon. Yeah. I also played Mech Mage, which is almost like cheating. At the time, it was anyway. So.
Well, at least you're being honest.
Sure. It had nothing to do with my skill. It had everything to do with top decking fireballs at just the right time.
Isn't that pretty much how everyone wins Hearthstone always?
No.
Just top decking the right thing at the right time.
No, the other people are doing moves you didn't even think of. That's how they're winning.
I played a lot of mid-range hunter games before today's show, and almost every single game was won by a top deck.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think Hunter's that way a lot, though. You kind of put yourself in a position to just have all I need to do is draw, 3 damage or something. I have a lot of things that do that. So
I think I want to say today I logged 9 games because I really wanted to play some mid-range hunter before we got into today's show because I figured it'd come up because of a Legendary Series discussion.
Sure.
And I'm 7-2 at the moment with this deck, so it's doing pretty well for me. And 2 of those games I won by quick shotting to the face and drawing into a second quick shot for lethal.
Oh my god! I still haven't seen that actually happen yet. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I still want to see the quick shot kill command. That's the one I'm waiting for. That's the big one.
Yeah. Yeah, which granted, it was Hunter. I could have also drawn into one of my 2 kill commands, or even possibly an animal companion that would have been a Huffer.
Yeah.
Plenty of ways I could have won, but it was cool that it was quick shot, and then, oh, look, my other quick shot. Dead. Wonderful. Great feeling.
I'm sure the other guy felt really good about it, too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sorry. Except the guy that I played Mill Rogue against. It's so annoying to play against, but I always win. But I'm just sick. Just stop, people. They don't work. Stop playing these decks.
Well, okay. What rank are you at right now?
I'm still in the teens, man.
So that's where it exists. You got to get out of there before you just see only meta decks.
I know. I'm working my way
That
up.
guy's probably played all day, every day, and he's still at whatever rank you're at after, like,
Case in point. Stop playing Mill Rogue.
I don't know if you've been watching Wreckful's stream, but he's been streaming like almost every day since the season started, but with like really weird decks that he made up, and he's like at rank 7 or something still. Like I think he was at 7, then I tuned in a couple days later, and he was at 6, and then he was back to 7. But at least he's trying new stuff. But that's what happens when you try new stuff. It's tough. It's a rough road.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in the single digits though. 7's pretty good if you're trying weird stuff.
He plays all day. This is the other part, though.
Exactly. He's really good, so I'm sure even his real stuff has some solid logic behind it. So.
Kinda. You should watch some of these decks. Yeah.
Just saying. But we have quite a bit to talk about, and we've started the show late, so let's get into this week's Hearthstone news.
Good news, everyone!
Guys, new heroes are coming to Hearthstone.
What?
I know, right?
New classes
so
and
excited.
stuff?
No.
We're gonna get
God.
Death Knights and stuff?
No.
What?
No.
Monks?
No.
Okay.
None of that.
Explain.
Now, Dills, get excited because we're getting a new picture.
Whoa.
It's shiny, and it comes with a card
It's
back.
shiny. Okay. Are there animations and stuff?
There are.
What? No
It's
way.
actually a pretty dope ass illustration, and if I can go as far. So the big announcement right now, and I'm sure there's going to be a bigger announcement probably tomorrow. Hell, probably the second we stop recording the show, knowing Blizzard's track record. But at the moment, the big news this week is the addition of new heroes coming to Hearthstone. The only one that has been shown so far is Magni Bronzebeard. If you somehow are a big Hearthstone fan and are up to date on this, it's not a new class. It is just a new portrait, like a new avatar for one specific class. So Magni Bronzebeard will take the place of Garrosh Hellscream if you see fit to purchase said dwarf leader.
Yes.
So they are cosmetic only. That is it. It'll be Magni sitting there. It is animated regardless of whether you have hit 500 wins or not. If you have not hit 500 wins, however, it will not have a gold portrait, but it will still be animated. He'll have a whole custom suite of emotes. He will sound very Scottish, I would hope. It'd be pretty weird to hear, Hellscream's voice coming out of Magni Bronzebeard. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty strange. Also getting a custom hero power animation. Magni's gonna swing a golden hammer down to activate armor up. So looks pretty cool. I saw this. I was like,
Does look
neat.
cool. Yeah.
Kind of been asking this for a while, but then the price hit, and then also big thing for me. Everyone's like hating on the price like hardcore, which I will admit I am confused by this pricing.
It's a little high.
I wouldn't say I'm angry. I'd say I'm confused. But the thing that really took the wind out of my sails was like, why are you only previewing one hero? Like,
Because obviously they're going to roll them out one at a time.
why is my question? Like, that doesn't seem...
Well, okay. There's a lot of rage. We should probably address the rage.
And
at the
I'm
price.
not going to lie. Oh, at the price. Okay,
Yeah.
because that's
The
not where
rage
my
is at the
rage
price,
lies.
I
But
think.
I have raged, but
Yeah?
not at the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious what your rage is, but I think let's address the price rage. So the price, it includes a card back. We have to also say that. So you get,
Yeah, we also
you get the
haven't
hero and you get a card back. So if they just released a card back, like how much do you think people would pay for just a card back? Because if you go and you look at that,
They're pushing it.
but if you look at that, if you go to like eBay or whatever, and people are selling their Tespa card backs, people pay quite a bit for that.
Yeah, but the
That's because
test
it's not-
card back is a little bit different because there's a rarity associated
The
with that.
rarity
There
is
would
what
be
makes
no
it- yeah.
rarity with this.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If Goblins versus Gnome cards were then taken out of the game and you had like these old codes for Goblins versus Gnome card packs laying around, they would be more than
Sure.
what is it?
I would think you'd buy a card back for like $2.99 at the most or something like that. I can't.
Yeah, that's about what I would pay.
You know.
Yeah. I think $3 would be fine.
Yeah, but now you're talking $10, but I get this hero animation and the new emotes, and I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah, no, it's like I get it.
Yeah.
Like from a certain aspect, it's a new art, so you had to get an artist in there. In this case, it's actually an illustration from Glenn Rain, killer illustrator. You have to get animation involved to animate these things. You have to get a voice actor come into the studio and record some lines of VO, and then you also have to have an artist draw up this card back. So that's all well and good. I understand that's a lot of work, a lot of time and energy put into these things. But $10.
No, $10 is worth. I'm not gonna buy it.
Like,
I'm not gonna buy it.
no, everyone keeps saying that like $10 is around what you pay for a skin in any other game, and I mean, I guess the reason that everyone's raging so much at Blizzard over the price is that Blizzard has done what a lot of these other free-to-play games don't do, in that they don't have. I mean, they have gold, but they don't have some kind of mystery currency that you're not 100% sure how much something costs. Like for me, I know in Smite I pay 600 gems to get a skin. I have no sweet clue how much that is in real money. No idea. And so, because it's not as simple as, I pay $10 and get 1,000 gems. It's like, I buy bundles, I earn them in game. Like it's just no easy comparison.
Yeah.
And so Blizzard's being totally upfront and saying it's $10 and everyone's freaking out. And I don't know. It does seem a little bit steep. I think around the $7 mark would have been better, but I mean, it's Blizzard. They don't do anything half-assed. Also, the other thing with the pricing is that even if you do say it's the same as the other games, a lot of the other games you're getting like Heroes, Smite, League, whatever. I guess League not so much because you're not right down in the game. But I mean, you're getting 3D rendered models, not just an anime. And it's not animated. Like it's whooshy. Like there's not
it's
as
gold
much
card animated. Yeah, it
exactly.
Has one animation that repeats all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not running down a lane. It's not slash dancing. It's not doing any of that stuff.
Illustration, they layered the foreground, middle ground, and background elements, and they put a tilt shift on it.
I don't want to belittle the art because the art is really good.
No, not at all.
But I think that I think they definitely overpriced this feature. I think if they made it like $5, I think a bunch of people would buy it. Because also, then that puts getting like all 9 heroes in reach. I'm not going to pay $90 for all 9 heroes. No way.
No, that's
like,
a lot.
No way. That's not gonna. So what do I have to choose? Which person I really want, or
if I can play devil's advocate for a moment,
sure.
That sounds great, cool. I don't want to see Magni Bronzebeard everywhere. I want people that really like Magni to be rocking Magni. But that's also comes back to my original complaint about all this is, why are you rolling this out with 1 hero? Why not give us 9, and then in another month give us another 9? There's plenty of heroes in the Warcraft universe.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this seemed so small. This seemed like the smallest scale thing ever. Like, I'm just looking at this like, why is this an announcement? That's kind of what I walked away from.
I mean, the announcement is that we're getting 9 eventually, but here's the first one, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
feel like we're gonna get kind of like 1 a week for
so?
like I feel like we're gonna get maybe an announcement and kind of tomorrow, and then maybe Magni will be available and we'll get the next one announced. And then the week after, whatever that second announcement is will be available, we'll get a third announcement.
I don't know what hero they could give me that's going to make me pay $9 though, or $10. I mean, I can't even imagine it.
I know, and 90 is so much money.
If I want one, I want them all, right? Like I don't want to just get one.
It's the card backs. Yeah. It's like I just got to a place where I was like, okay, I can grind out heroic and I can have the card backs, and I'm just missing that golden one from China that no one can get. Like I was in a good card back collecting place, and now I'm staring $90 in the face going, I just can't.
Yeah.
See, I'm not in that boat because I have no interest in having all the heroes. I've never been big on dwarves. Magni's whatever, not a big fan.
He's Alliance, man. Who cares about that guy?
Yeah.
My certain folks from Warcraft lore that I'm a huge fan of. So I have no interest in having all of them.
So what if they made an Arthas hero?
I would drop down the $10 tomorrow. That's $10 that no longer belongs to me, and I'm okay with that.
So let's point out that this is totally a choice. You don't have to buy this.
You don't have
so
to
if you don't like the price point,
gameplay.
you vote by not buying it, and that's what you do. And
Well, that's the thing too. It's not like you get a new hero power. It's the exact same hero power. There's just a different animation. So
Sure.
there's like a little hammer that comes down when you
So
armor
this
up.
isn't
So
my idea that I wanted so long ago, which was
Yeah.
2 options of hero powers for each hero,
Right.
but that's a different story altogether,
yeah.
which may never happen. So,
yeah.
but yeah, you're right, Garrett. It was a little underwhelming. You only got 1 hero. You'd think that you'd know at least like what the other. They could roll them out, but at least like tell us what they are, and I could be excited.
this is
about the next
like
release, and I don't know.
I'm looking forward to the next time we have the rep from Team 5 on, because I just have all these little questions just rattling around in my head, because I'm not sure because I look at this and I'm like, this couldn't have taken that much time to make.
Well, think about what their art team is up to whenever they're not making cards, right? So some people are complaining. They're like, "This is what you're working on? You're working on stupid heroes." It's like, well,
Yeah,
first of all, the
but-
balance team is not working on new heroes.
No.
And, the new content team.
How are we going to balance the new hammer?
Yeah, like this
animation?
isn't taking away dev time from other features. I mean, that's all that
Yeah.
still happens, and
That's not an
there's
argument, yeah.
divisions of Team
Yeah.
5. So
Yeah, I guarantee you this has been a long time coming. Someone in a meeting pitched, "Hey, let's have new hero portraits for sale." All right, cool. Green light it. Let's get a small group of people on that. And they've just been working on it. Just a few people, I'm sure.
yeah, this doesn't
Again,
look like something that's
I
gonna take
I'm not
forever.
positive about this, but there's no way all of Team 5 is just laboring
Yeah.
day after day.
I don't think
in the-
Ben Brode is in meetings all day for Magni Bronzebeard being added.
It looks like
And you never know. Maybe they need the bigwigs to make the decisions of who's going to make the cut and be the next 9 heroes.
Okay. Yeah.
it's
but,
like,
you know- Sorry, Garrett.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of, if you can imagine Team 5 down in the Urukai birthing pits of Isengard, just slaving away on Magni Bronzebeard and only Magni Bronzebeard, and then they finish it and they ship it onto like, oh, phew, thank God that's done. Now we get to work on actual game content. That is not like how people on Reddit and forums. How is that actually what you believe? I don't get it.
Oh, I wish I could see Ragey Garrett face right now. We're losing out on
look
so
at the
much.
look
Watch
at
the
the
YouTube.
stream. Look at the
Because
stream. It's all Garrett Rage face right now.
I'm doing a local video recording that'll be up on youtube.com/starcast show. Yeah, I've been seeing that sentiment all week, and I'm just like, that's not
That's not the
just-
issue.
That's not just no way.
Yeah.
The next expansion is not being significantly delayed because they went and made a new hero
No.
portrait.
No, this I mean, and that's also if you're Team 5, you're thinking, okay, we got this game. This game is great. We need to make sure that we continue to generate revenue in between, and building more ways to generate revenue is fantastic because it gives Team 5 a better revenue source and the stream is better, and eventually, like the game is healthier as a result. So I don't care. I'm not mad. I'm just not gonna buy it. That's where I lie.
no.
Like that's the line that I draw is on the $10 that I'm not spending it. That's pretty much it. Like I don't understand like physically being angry about stuff like this. Like
It really
wasting your
boils-
anger.
well-
It boils down to the same thing that we tell the people who leave us the most vitriolic reviews and send us the worst emails ever. They're just like, I hate your podcast. Why do you do that? And I just sit there. I'm like, why are you listening to it? I don't you strapped to a chair in my garage forcing
Oh, you guys don't do that? I totally do that.
Yeah.
I have a whole spare room full of people who hate the show that I just strap to chairs and make them watch.
That explains the bump in numbers I saw this
It
week.
is.
Exactly.
Thank you,
Every
Jocelyn.
time I hate
You're
a TV
welcome.
show, I make sure to tune in every week,
Yep.
and then I write them letters.
I have every episode of Gotham. I'm sorry. Careful.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about this really quickly, like just to bring it back to the new hero announcement, because like the price is not the thing that ticks me off. The thing that ticks me off is the animation. I really, really strongly believe that we should have a non-animated Magni, and then when you hit 500 wins, then you get your animated Garrosh and you get your animated Magni. I think it just cheapens the whole 500 wins thing a little bit. Do you guys feel like that at all?
Nah, because I think
Really?
if you pay $10, you get the gold, whatever. You don't get gold Garrosh until 500 wins, so that's what you get for 500 wins, right? Is golden Garrosh.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like the thing that makes it like so noticeable when you go up against a golden hero. You don't really notice the borders and all that kind of ornate stuff. The first thing you notice is the fact that it's animated. So I feel like it's just a little bit of a slap in the face to people who actually like took the time to grind out 500 wins with a class, or God forbid, like all 9. Like, holy crap, that's so much time and so much effort.
I don't see it that way. I don't think it's because to me it's like if I see a really cool mount in World of Warcraft that you can only get by grinding out a bunch of stuff, I think, oh man, that guy got that crazy mount. And then I see the one that costs money. I'm like, well, that guy paid money. So when I see Magni, I'm going to say that guy paid money. When I see Golden Garrosh, I'm going to say that guy earned 500 wins. You know, that's so. I don't see it that way, but I get your point. I'm not too worried about that.
Garrett?
I was about to defend you, and then Dills hit me with that WoW analogy, and now I agree with Dills.
You just bring it back to WoW. Garrett's like, yeah, I'm on board. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a point. I think I kind of fell in between. Like again, it comes back to the price point. I feel like if I'm paying $10, it better damn well be.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it costs money, that's for people who want to bypass the 500 win thing and be golden. So that's fine. Let them do it.
I just don't think you should be able to bypass that to get animated.
I think
heroes.
I think part of that reaction is that this is the first one, and again, they only announced one, instead of 9. I feel like once a lot more of these have come out and has become a normal thing in Hearthstone, that we as fans will know all the ones that you can buy and all the ones that you can only earn. And like Dill said, I think you'll just be like, oh, it's Magni. Oh, he must just really like Magni. And then you'll look at the edge, like, oh, it's not gold. He hasn't hit up 500 wins. He's not a total baller. So, yeah.
I mean, the other thing is, like, again, like, it doesn't bother me if people like shiny stuff. So I guess what would bother me if this is the only way to be shiny, right?
Stuff, by the way, Dills. I really wish you were offended by people who like shiny stuff.
Oh man, he would just totally hate me.
The way I look at it is, in a lot of the games, there's a way to pay to be shiny, and then there's a way to earn shiny, right? And these are just two different ways to get shiny. That's all.
Absolutely. There's all these badass skins I can buy in Heroes, or I can earn that master.
I can earn the master skin, which is hard to get. Yeah, exactly.
And I have to pay gold for it.
Yeah, no, whatever.
You hit 10, you're like, yeah, I made it. Oh man, I have to dish out 10 grand in gold for this.
I know, that's steep, dude. By the way, 15,000 for any new hero is really pissing me off, dude.
Just wait.
Sorry. Okay.
Just wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but it's just you want to play them right away, and so but they're getting people to shell out the cash. I
just hey, you know what I do, Deals? I just spend the $10, and you know what I get? Something that drastically changes my game experience.
I know, it's crazy, huh? This $10 does not, by the way.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
No, this $10 does not. Now, okay, so do you think that there's going to be people who essentially are now going to shame, or are there going to be Magni shamers out there? Like you play against somebody and then they beat you, they're playing Face Warrior, and then they just smork you down, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to add this guy as a friend right now. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind, like, you stupid Magni having rich, blah, 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 you know. And
Smorking Smorker.
Yeah.
You know, my answer to that is, Dills, yes, because there will always be terrible people in the world.
This is true, yeah. But it's just going to be a new thing for people to pick at, right?
Oh my god, can you imagine the guy that gets like the animated pay hunter thing and plays face hunter? Oh, the hate. Man, the hate.
Yeah. Well, that person really is an evil person, so.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
Yeah, I think my closing thought on this is confused by the price, but at some point a hero will come along I'm going to spend the money on, but I have no interest in getting them all.
Someday a man will come along.
Sweep you off your feet.
His name will be Arthas, and he and I will...
That'll be when DK exists, though, right? Unless it's Paladin.
Paladin and we have an email about it later, so we shouldn't get too much into...
Actually, I really want Sylvanas so that I can play Sylvanas while I am Sylvanas. So Sylvanas while
Here's the other, that would be weird, dude. Can they do that?
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. Yeah. If it's already a card, it'll never be a hero.
Yeah.
That's disappointing because I really
get an Uther card, right? Like that would
I really want Sylvanas as an avatar, and I also would love an Arthas card at some point, but I really want an Arthas
hero. I think Arthas will be a hero. He's too big a character to be a card.
Here's the thing, though. When you spend your $10, I guarantee you're gonna douche it up and use all the emotes all the time, all these brand new fancy emotes, and the other people are gonna just be like, "Oh my god, this guy, this douchebag, bought the thing for $10, and now he's telling me sorry every turn." Yeah.
See, now that's another thing that could have gotten me to definitely blow $10 on all of these is if I buy one, I'm guaranteed that my opponent cannot squelch me because I feel I am losing value if my opponent can squelch me.
There you go. Yeah, like now I'm just emoting for me? No. No, 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 no. I paid $10, sir. You're going to listen to everything I have to say.
Well played, well played, well played, well played.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe too. I'm trying to think of a Warcraft character that I'm just a nut job for the voice actor of, and I can't really think of one. But that could be another thing that might get me to spend the $10. Like, oh man, I just love that guy's voice so much.
We already got Thrall, so.
Like if it was StarCraft and I could buy Abathur's voiceover is just so badass. I would have it here.
I just have to say right now, chat room is saying that I'm wrong because of Rag. But Rag isn't a hero in the way that you can choose him the same way you can choose all the other 9 heroes. So Rag doesn't count. Rag is something that you become as part of a card.
He's a special
he's special. It's not the same as being a hero.
Mm-hmm. Well,
same as you can't beat, like Jiraxis isn't a hero.
But he is, but he's not. Yeah, but he could also be a physical, like he can also be a minion on the board. So
exactly, yeah.
You could be
all that stuff
and play Ragnaros.
Edge case.
Hmm?
You could be Ragnaros and play Ragnaros.
Yes, that can happen.
Stopping
you. You can also be Jiraxis and play Jiraxis through weird mind vision and other types of tricks. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But that's totally different. That's not the same thing as an Uther card or a Thrall card
or a
or a Sylvanas hero.
Yeah.
So
I'm with Joss on this one.
Yay!
I hope you're wrong because I really want a Sylvanas portrait at some point. So, Team 5, please make them wrong. So moving on, over on Hearthpwn. If you go check out their post about the new heroes coming to Hearthstone, you'll also see that NetEase's chief marketing director said on Weibo that quote, the main elements of the new Hearthstone patch are not the new heroes. They didn't show the big thing. For those who may not be familiar, NetEase is Blizzard's partner for Chinese operations. So who knows what that is? But apparently,
any hints out there?
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know, Dills.
Maybe we got an incredibly cryptic tweet from Hearthstone's official Twitter account today showing a new button with nothing written on it coming into that 4th button slot.
The animation on this is really bad, by the way.
Yeah, it's
not the game animation, I'm sure.
I mean, it's clearly not finished because there's no words on it.
That's actually, this could be the in-game animation. This is just, like the not finished version of it. But
it seems like there's not enough effects, and the frame rate is way lower than it'll be in the finished version, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a GIF.
Yeah.
But actually, exciting.
I tried to retweet it, and I couldn't because it's a video and not a GIF.
Is it a video?
Yeah. I tried to grab the image and re-upload it, and it was like, oh, it's an MP4? Really?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I can like pause it and stuff. Oh my god, weird.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. I'm not sure how to do that on Twitter. This is not interesting to anybody except people trying to retweet Hearthstone social media. I mean, we're pretty sure it's going to be tournament mode, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's our assumption across the board.
Because of the bug that people have found themselves in the weird tournament mode. Kind of, UI and stuff.
Yeah, was that just on the phone or was that everywhere?
I thought it was everywhere because I thought this was happening. This has been happening for a long time before the phone was even a thing.
I
thought it might have been the iPad.
Yeah, I don't think it started happening until it was on a mobile device, which the first one would have been iPad.
Sure. So yeah, I'm pretty sure tournament mode. It makes a lot of sense. Now, exactly what tournament mode will entail, no idea.
I know. I'm so excited for tournament mode. I want to be able to make my own rules, like we were talking about it earlier, and like I want to be able to make just like a total web spinner tournament or an unstable portal tournament where like everyone's deck is just all portals. So good.
Yeah, I know you want that, but I'm gonna guess that that's not happening. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
As much as I would love that type of fun stuff, I would really like actually good tournament modes in a new limited format would be really nice.
A limited format would be amazing.
That's what I mean. Like the ability to kind of mess with the format, mess with the rules, and decide how you want to put your tournament together.
I don't expect them to be. I don't know how you would build a tool with that much freedom, though. I think they would still have to have some type of agency or dictation in the format.
Yeah, probably. My unstable portal tournament is probably a pipe dream, but
I'm
Because they probably
guessing
won't give you that. That would essentially mean you would basically like
it's a
put
sandbox
no
mode.
restrictions on the decks
Yeah.
and ban every card that was an unstable portal. And we already know from stuff that they've said previously that banning cards within like their ecosystem just won't happen. So.
Yeah. I mean, I want a sandbox mode. I think we talked about it in a patron hangout one time. Like sandbox mode would be super fun to be able to make like
Yeah, I think
you know
it did. Yeah,
100
you're right.
card decks or something like that. Don't be limited by class cards and all that kind of stuff. But I think what we're just gonna get is just online tournaments that I can just log into, pay real money or gold or something, and then I play a little tournament that all happens online, and then maybe we get our own, like the ability to create tournaments. I don't know.
Organizer tools would
Yeah.
be so fantastic,
If that's part
especially
of
if
it.
it would involve not having to actually add your opponent to your friends list, because that would be kind of like the easiest go-to way to solve the friends list cap problem.
Yeah, like if they get, you know, and I imagine it'd be something like you get some sort of an ID number for your tournament, and then it's either closed or open, and then you tell people to go sign up for it, and you know, add them all in or whatever, and then you've got a tournament, and you're running a tournament. That would be really, really good. But we will see. I don't know. I'm guessing the first part more than the second part is more likely, but maybe both. Maybe we get all of it at one time.
I really want a limited format. That's all I want. That's all I care about. It's the only thing I want in this game anymore.
So you've talked a little bit about how Arena is kind of like limited. So when you say you want a limited format, what are you looking for?
I want
exactly
something more akin to draft, or give me a version of Arena where I can draft more than 30 cards and have sideboarding. And I want an actual tournament. I don't want 12 random people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think that might be like I'm holding out hope that that's going to be part of it. Like there's going to be different formats. You know, you're just going to do a straight constructed tournament, or you can do some sort of a limited tournament that's like their version of whatever that is. That's a little tricky though, obviously, because you know with Magic you're drafting the different colors. You can kind of like pivot during the draft. I don't know how this would necessarily work. Where I'm like, oh, I drafted a bunch of Hunter cards, and then I was like, oh, but this is really good. I got Prophet Velen or something. And
but no other priest cards.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know how that would really work.
I feel like we could do a whole episode just brainstorming different ways to do limited art.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to dive too deep into it now.
Yeah.
But my first idea is...
I was just trying to kind of like get an idea of how that would differ from Arena, basically. Like if that was the tournament mode, like how that would be different.
Well, the idea of drafting more cards than your deck contains, I think, is fantastic. That's step one.
That's the first place my brain goes for an easy fix to make it more competitive and less I got a bad draft and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At the very least, because I think we've talked about the show. Maybe we haven't. The idea of back in the day when mages was the class that won. Say you're building your Arena deck and you're actually getting some good picks, and you're like, say you're looking at 3 cards and you're like, well, card A would be amazing against mages, but card B would probably be better to get me through my first 6 or 7 wins. Mm-hmm. It would be really nice if I could take 5 extra cards with me, and I'm like, all right, once I get past this crest and I think I'm going to be going up against more mages, I can tech these in. But as it stands, you just have to hope and pray that you could just like that perfect collection of cards that just get you through the early games against random who knows what, and then get you through the late stages against, at the moment, it's probably
mages.
still just
mages.
Yeah.
Mages and paladins still.
Paladins.
But yeah, it's like Kazan Mystic is like a really good card in Arena because you're gonna play mages at some point. It's like there's things like that make it kind of non-competitive. Where like what you're saying is I could tech in cards, and I would like then to play like a best 2 out of 3 against the other guy's deck, be able to maybe change my deck after the first game. There's a lot of cool stuff that can be done with that, which you cannot do in Arena. In Arena, it's just like, well, this is my deck, let's go. Sometimes you lose the first 2 games and you just want to click the retire button, because it's like, yeah, this deck is just terrible. I can't win with it. And I would not want that if I'm playing some like tournament mode. So
yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, it's all at this point we're just making stuff up and hoping that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could be completely wrong. This could not be tournament mode.
Yeah, actually, we just went we went down the tournament rabbit hole, and it could definitely just be like, no, this is where you buy your new heroes.
Okay, it is not going to be that, because I've seen that too. It's not going to be that. They already have a shop button, guys. Let's not get carried away.
I know.
Because I saw that all over Twitter. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
No, that's definitely not what it is. Yeah, they were like, we've shown you the new hero, but that's not the new big thing. The new big thing is the shop where you buy the heroes.
That's that button you guys have been wondering about for 9 months.
That would be ridiculous.
Buy animated heroes button. Oh my
Oh, Jesus.
God.
What other possibilities are there besides tournament mode? What do you think?
I really don't know.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what else it could be.
I can't. I think the other problem is I'm a selfish person, and that's the only thing I want. I don't want anything else. I'd love some observer mode tweaks,
Yeah.
But no, I want.
So some people are saying 2v2 is an idea out there, but
Oh, that's a good point, and that is totally something I would love to see added.
But I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think I think we need a little more time, more cards, more weird stuff that can happen because 2v2 is
there's
a whole nother.
There's some really good ideas in the chat right now. Stats, replays, achievements. Those all could be things that they might add. It won't be quests. We already have the quest button.
Yeah, I feel like that you could just click the quest button and that's where they could put achievements already. Like
they could put
this
achievements in with
seems like
quests,
another game mode. You know what I mean?
It does. Yeah, it would be
right
kind of
now. They're all game modes.
They're all game modes. Yeah, we got play, adventures, arena.
Replays is kind of like a game mode. It's something you would have to kind of like load into the game in order to.
But I feel like I would get that from the options menu. Like that's where you kind of put that kind of stuff, right? Like if you do replays in Heroes, it's all kind of in the options, right? Like you don't.
Is it? I'm trying to think of where it is in StarCraft, Garrett.
This right here, this like 1, 2, 3, 4 is like imagine that top strip in Heroes. Like imagine like if you just put replays up there, right? That would be kind of weird.
Yeah, but that top
really, because that's where I would go to look for it. Like
that top strip in Heroes is akin to the buttons in Hearthstone because the top strip in Heroes is where you go to play, but it's also where the shop and stuff is. So it's
there's
kind
a top strip that's like play, shop, whatever, right?
Right.
And then there's underneath that all the different play modes. So I think of these 4 buttons as kind of like that. Where all play modes, because it wouldn't make sense to have 3 play modes and then 1 non-play mode, right? That'd be weird.
Yeah, Garrett in the chat. Yeah, it's the
play,
watch
shop,
tab.
and watch. Yeah,
you go to the watch tab and you watch your replays, which is always annoys me that when I get in there, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go watch my friend play. It's like, oh no, I can just watch myself lose that last game.
Exactly, you can only watch yourself right now. Yeah. Weird. Very weird.
But no, I'd like to see all that stuff, but not as much as I'd like to see a tournament mode.
Yeah. So we're all in on tournament mode. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So thank you so much, Hearthstone, for teasing literally basically a blank page that we just.
And yet we still talk about it forever, and we're super excited, and they've really told us nothing other than that thing that we knew is coming soon. TM.
Soon TM, indeed. Okay. Lastly, in the news this week, the ESL Legendary Series Season 2 wrapped up last night with their Season 2 finals. It was quite the event. I thoroughly enjoyed the last one. I'd like this one even more. Slicker production. That Hearthstone bumper fade thing, the card is still reversed, and it's driving me crazy. Somebody fixed that. It was wrong last time, and it is still wrong. But other than that, I enjoyed it. Did you guys get to watch this? I was super sick over the weekend, so I had nothing better to do than just lay down and watch hours.
Wish I could have. I just kept checking in and checking. It was a long tournament. I mean, it was 3 days all day.
It was really long.
And that was great. They had a really good group of casters, I think. I think Chalky was the big winner as far as nobody knew he was that good at casting, and he got a lot of praise on the Hearthstone subreddit for his casting abilities. I knew, like, I've seen a lot of the other guys. I just had never seen him cast, and he was really good. But yeah, the whole thing was amazing. And Hearthlytics, Team Hearthlytics, this is the biggest win for them yet. They've had some pretty good success on the ladder and stuff, but Phone Tap is now with them, and that's my buddy RJ, who comes to game night every now and then. That's their team, so it's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, like I know the guy who owns that team.
Yeah,
I was
nice.
Like, yeah. And he was, I'm sure he was super excited. I haven't even had a chance to talk to him yet, but they're kind of a small up and coming team, so that was really nice to see. Somebody who's not in a big and that was a cool thing. The finals was kind of a big name, and then an up and comer, and just it was cool. It was a good storyline.
Yeah, I had never heard of Phone Tap, and I mean he just signed to Hearthlytics, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean they're really, really small. Like, I don't, they're eventually going to be like a website. And once that's out, we'll talk about that because they got some really cool ideas, but I don't want to, I don't want to give anything away.
Step on any
But
toes.
they have a team as well. And that's kind of how they're like getting involved in the scene right now at this point because the site isn't really up and running yet. So they've got Jab, they've got this guy, and they've got a couple other players that are all kind of on their way up, not big names yet, but they're all very good players. And this guy really impressed me with his play. And also he brought different decks, which I think was really key to his winning. I think he was like the only one with Shaman, as far as I know.
I think so. I think there was one other shaman
One
player.
other Shaman? Okay.
There's yeah, I don't know who. And yeah, because he brought Mech Shaman, and it didn't really do that well for him in most of the games, but it did do well for him in the finals.
Yeah.
So, who am I?
It's not very reliable.
No, I've tried.
But it can win at any time. Like that deck.
Oh, it totally can. Yeah.
It snowballs into wins a lot. And I think that's probably why he chose it, right? We talked about that version. That's the Fell Reaver. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played it, and I hate that deck.
Yeah.
With the burning passion of 1,000 suns.
Sure. Yeah.
But I get it. I understand it. But just like my experience with Mech Mage, as Jocelyn can attest to, it's just like too many bad experiences too quick. I'm just like, no, this deck does one thing really well, and if it doesn't happen, you're just you don't get to play a game.
Yeah, if you don't get like your power mace and then get to put that on an attacking mech, and if they play a single sludge belcher, then you lose. Like there's just a lot of things that can go bad with that deck for sure. And then sometimes you put out that 8/8, and then you're playing a paladin, and then he makes it a 1/8, and you're like, damn it, we got this horrible 1/8 that makes me burn my entire deck. But yeah, but it also can easily just straight up win a game out of nowhere. You just burn people down. So yeah, but it was just cool to see like him win with not the normal. Like, 'cause everyone else had Hunter and Warrior. So he just kind of and Warlock, and he just kind of brought like a slightly different lineup and won. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, it was a good tournament overall. A lot of money up for grabs too. I mean, 10 grand for first place and 100 world championship points.
Often 10 grand is like the total prize pool, but this was 25,000. And you know what else was kind of cool was seeing Reynad get so deep in a big tournament, because that's kind of the joke, is like he gets super unlucky all the time and he's not actually that good and whatever, but he's very good when he wants to be, when he
he's damn solid play. I think he's just busy.
Yeah, he's just busy. He can't sit there and just play Hearthstone all day.
Yeah.
Not like I can't do it either. I totally relate. I wish I could sit there and play Hearthstone all day. But no, but he made some pretty funny jokes too in his interviews. He said he was trying to play Patron Warrior as bad as you could, so that he could show the Blizzard devs who were there in attendance that it's completely overpowered and needs to get nerfed. I don't think he quite got away with that, because I think he kind of screwed up in a couple of games and didn't win. But I think he's not wrong that deck is amazing, but I don't think it needs to be nerfed.
So he is wrong?
He's not wrong that it's powerful, but he's wrong that it's overpowered and needs to be nerfed. I think it's definitely a deck that can be beat. It's just people aren't teching against it yet. They will.
Yeah.
They will eventually.
You just gotta play smart.
Yeah.
It's like,
you gotta kill the patrons when they come out. That's the key.
Yeah.
And you have to know that they're coming, so you have to save things that you'll need to get rid of them.
Quick shot, dark bomb.
Yeah, it's like, I know
Fire.
they're coming out. Let me play a one attack minion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Pally hero power.
Stop right now.
I do like, so what's cool about Patron Warrior, and like we're a little off topic, but it's an interesting thing. I like that Patron Warrior punishes cards that were previously, I think, kind of overpowered. Like Patron Warrior kind of punishes stuff like Mad Scientist, or even if you think about it, Sludge Belcher gets punished. Because all you have to do to get rid of a Sludge Belcher now is play Warsong Commander, one Patron, and then put one Cruel Taskmaster on that patron. It gets 5 attack, it kills the thing, and you've already made another one that then gets a new one off of the little slime. So you're essentially like patrons countering cards that were previously not really counterable.
That were very, very powerful. Yeah.
It adds in, like, when you're putting Sludge Belcher in your deck now, you have to think like, should I really be doing this? Like maybe I need to drill the claw instead because Sludge Belcher is actually a liability. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is actually kind of bleeding into our strategy talk, so why don't we just get into it?
Let's do it.
Hit it very hard.
Wanna blow something up? Time to pay!
Since the legendary, I forgot what it was called already, the Hearthstone Legendary Series wrapped up, we thought we would talk a little bit about the meta as it relates to that tournament. If for no other reason than because Nidra made an amazing article over at gosugamers.net with some nice stats. We always love our stats here on the Angry Chicken. But don't run away. It's very interesting, Matt. We're just going to use this as a basis to talk about all kinds of decks.
All math is cool.
Nerds.
Says the guy on a video game podcast.
Yep.
Anyway, right at the top of this Ghost of Gamers article is class popularity in the player lineups across the season 2 of the Legendary Series, and it's very predictable. You look at the top 3; it's Warrior, Warlock, Hunter, all very close to one another. And then not too far under that is Druid, which is also to be expected. But then it's a massive drop off down to Mage tied with Paladin, and then below that Rogue tied with Shaman, and then at the very bottom with almost no one playing at the Priest.
Poor Priest.
One Priest.
He's been so at the bottom for so long.
Yeah. Well, it just struggles against too many things. It's very good against certain things. When you can steal stuff and do all that, like I think it was Kalento brought the Priest, right? He was the only one.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a priest god. Like he plays it really well, but not everyone can do all the cool Kalento moves. Not everyone can think of those. So
Every time new cards are announced for Hearthstone, we're just like, ooh, maybe Priest. No.
It's really funny actually that Light Bomb Priest isn't more popular given how popular Patron is, because Light Bomb Priest just destroys no matter how many patrons you have. It's just like Light Bomb, boom, done. Like
the problem is that it doesn't do anything against a lot of the other minions in the game that are really powerful, because there's so many things with like their 3/5
more health than taunt, or more health than attack.
Yeah, exactly.
More health than taunt.
More health than taunt.
Jocelyn does talking.
Now the milkshake tournament, on the other hand, that's gonna be chock full of priests, though. So if you're looking for priest play, look out for that tournament.
All priest all the time.
Yeah. I'm confused about what the control hunter is. Is that just the guy who put one Feign Death in his hunter deck?
Pretty much.
Because it wasn't really. It was just like a mid range with a single Feign Death and a Sylvanas. I don't know. I don't think it was control necessarily, but all right.
I'm pretty confused by that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think I actually caught it being played.
I did see it. They were like, the casters were like, oh, this is a Feign Death deck, but he never drew Feign Death, and he just kind of played it like a standard mid range, just playing a good minion every turn. But it just had a Feign Death, I think, just in case you have a Sylvanas thing, where you could steal a minion or something. Or there's a lot of really good Death Rattle cards already in mid range Hunter, so you just kind of replace like things like Houndmaster with another Death Rattle-y creature, and good to go. You just put in one Feign Death. I think that's the problem with Feign Death. Everyone tries to make it all about Feign Death, but really you should just have that be like kind of a tech card in a way, rather than the basis of your deck. And I've tried, and it doesn't work.
Well, I'd say the big change, or the big deck that kind of came out of this tournament that I feel like everyone is talking about is mid-range Hunter. And this is not the hybrid Hunter we talked about a few weeks ago.
No.
Right.
Back to good old school mid-range. Although I say old school, it does have quick shot in there, which previously did not exist.
Yeah. But this mid-range has more beast synergy and stuff, and the Houndmasters are a big deal now. Again, which they should be, because think about what Houndmaster really does when you actually can use its battle cry. I mean, you're putting 6/5 worth of power on the board for 4 mana. That's crazy. So, it's a good to see this version back, because it really is a very powerful version, and it's not as frustrating to play against its Face Hunter. So, I'm glad to see it back. And I'm not against Face Hunter. Everyone knows that I'm not. I'm totally pro Face Hunter, but I also recognize the frustration of playing against it.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, Goblin Welder in the chat room says that the Control Hunter has the sniper, so that your hero power isn't just to the face.
Well, now I want to see this deck be played and actually draw these weird cards. Use because Steam Weedle Sniper had me so very excited.
And then it just never got played.
Yeah, and everyone,
It's good though. Actually, the problem with it is that you play it on 2, and if it dies, you never get to use its thing, right? So
Right.
think about something like a Cruel Taskmaster, like immediately does what you were looking for it to do, which is do 1 damage to something. You get 2 damage later for 2 mana that you can put wherever you want, but it's a very small body, and it just kind of dies.
how insane would it be if it also had another line of text that said your hero power costs 0 the turn this was played?
Oh my god.
Like how bananas.
I mean, yeah, that would be too much. That would be way too much. That'd be like it would have to be like a 1/1 or something like that to do that. But yeah, I used it in my Feign Death Hunter to kind of just get to my big Feign Death turns, like to give me something that allows me to do a little board control, and it worked. It's also awkward though because you play it on turn 2, and then the next turn you have 3 mana, and then if you use 2 mana for your hero power to clear something, you have 1 mana left, and it's like I'd rather just play something that costs 3 mana here, and just stay on curve. So a lot of times you end up getting off curve a little bit unless you have the coin, and you can coin it on turn 1 and then kill something on turn 2, which you can't rely on. So
Yeah.
it's got some problems.
Well, I've actually been enjoying the mid-range hunter, probably because I'm winning and I like winning.
Yeah.
But it also I don't know, just seems a little more like my play style. It's not as aggressive, a lot more trading going on, keeping control of the board. I like that. It's how I tend to play these types of games.
Yeah, you trade, and then at some point you turn into a beatdown deck. So it feels like you got options, right? Like
Right.
Face Hunter. Sometimes you get in these situations with Face Hunter where you're just like, I know I'm going to lose, but the only way I can win is to just keep hitting your face with everything. Even though that feels like that's definitely going to make me lose. It's my literal only out. And this, at least you can actually do some trading and make some decisions and things. So, but Jab is also Team Hearthletics, by the way, who wrote this post that you linked to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he's been doing and he really believes, and a lot of players do, that this version of mid-range is actually like the top deck, even with the crazy Patron Warriors out there. Like, this is still like the best deck.
Yeah. Well, because I sat down to watch the tournament, and I'm seeing this hunter after hunter after hunter. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, I don't recognize. I'm seeing web spinners. What's going on? So I text you, Dales. I'm like,
Yeah.
What the hell is this hunter? Am I missing something? And you're like, well, actually, not really. It hasn't been being played that long. Jab had this post up a few days ago. That's about it. So yeah, this is kind of the first tournament we're seeing it in.
Yeah. The tournament meta really does kind of. It's not like a mirror image of the ladder, but it does reflect the ladder to a certain extent. And these numbers actually kind of prove that out. So because a lot of these guys, they play on the ladder all the time. And so what's working for them on the ladder starts to feel comfortable, starts to feel like the deck that they think they can do well with. I think you see more control because you tend to face control more often, and these players.
Well, and you don't
rely on
have
it more,
to. You're not going for speed in a tournament, right?
No, yeah.
Like, you don't care how quickly you win or lose. You're not conceding. Like, you're playing everything out all the way, and you want to get those wins. And control is a little bit better at that.
Yeah.
You can take you don't feel as bad taking the time to use a control deck.
No, absolutely. There's no race to the top. So
Exactly.
Face Hunter is but before in the tournaments, people were using Face Hunter because they thought that was the stronger version of Hunter.
True. Yeah.
I do think to an extent, Patron Warrior's success has essentially slowed down things like Face Hunter, because Face Hunter plays all minions that get feasted on by patrons, and also your explosive trap essentially doesn't do anything to Patron Warrior. It actually helps them. So there's just, when a deck is as strong as Patron Warrior is right now, it's going to define the meta a little bit, and that's why I think you're seeing like Handlocks completely back. Druid is actually fallen off quite a bit. Like, if you notice, there wasn't as many Druids because they really get destroyed by the Patron Warrior. And then you saw just a ton of Control Warrior as well, because Control Warrior can actually kind of deal, like double brawl Control Warrior can actually deal with those Patron turns pretty well. So it's like that deck is really defining the meta, and that's, I think, why you're seeing all these 3 decks. But it's good meta right now. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys feel like this is kind of the coolest it's been in a while? It doesn't feel.
Oh yeah, and I think we've talked about it a few times now, and just the variety in the decks and how it does cycle through. It's not just cycling through 2 or 3 decks now. It's like we're cycling through, like, there's always 2 or 3 on top, but then there's 2 or 3 up and coming, and
Mhm.
it's just there's so much more variety now, and people seem to be playing a lot more than they had been previously, and that might be because BRM just came out within the last month. So maybe people are still playing around with some of those cards, but it seems like there's way more going on in like ladder meta than there has been in a long, long time.
Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing a ton of variety. That's to me like the what a healthy meta is. When you're playing all hunters, where you're playing, all Miracle Rogue, you're playing all whatever, that's
Well,
just
even if you
Zulok,
queue
like,
into
ugh.
the same class every single time, like even if I queued into Hunter over and over and over again, as long as I'm queuing into like a control, then a mid range, then a face, then another mid range or something, like as long as there's variety within the class, like that to me is like if I don't know who I'm facing right away, that makes me happy.
No,
If you
yeah,
have to
I
think about it a
agree
little
with that
more.
too. Like right now, I think the only class that you know exactly what you're going to get when you queue up against them is probably Rogue, right?
Oh, I
Like
was
it's
gonna say
always
priest.
Oil Rogue. Yeah, Priest, but Priest is just control Priest. But they always
Yeah.
have like some different stuff in there. Everybody kind of tunes theirs a little differently. Some people like don't have light bomb. Some people do. I guess it's kind of the same thing. But like Oil Rogue is just Oil Rogue every time.
Yeah, true.
You know, like it's just kind of the exact same deck every single time. Maybe
Hey,
Mech Shaman too.
you just need to stay down in the teens, man. You got mill rogues in there. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah, the Mill Rogues. Yeah, all right.
I forgot about the Mill Road.
Sure, sure. Yeah, and those
I don't
Mill
know if-
Druids, and
I don't
those
think I'll be in there much longer if I stick with the mid-range
Yeah.
hunter. It seems to be working very well.
those Fatigue Mages. You really got to watch out for those too. Yeah.
Yep.
Every
Is
time
there
you
any
play
shaman
now,
actually other than Mech Shaman? Anyone
not
play anything
popular. I
else,
mean, you
really?
can still play mid-range Shaman, but
I feel like every season I play a few games against just a standard kind of mid-ranger control
Yeah.
league style
the ones
shaman.
with Azure Drakes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a few. There's a few people out there that are still rocking that. And I want shaman to make a comeback really bad, but
I thought Overload Shaman would be a thing, and it just hasn't been. You know what? Those Shamans really rocking is Arena right now. I've had like my last two, like 11 and 12 wins were Shaman in Arena.
I feel like shaman's always been pretty
Yeah. Well, Shaman
solid.
floods the board so well, and then gets value out of all those little minions with flame tongues and stuff. So
Yep. Yep. If you get any flame totems in arena, it's just amazing because of your hero power, and then they have so many easy to find spells that are class specific. And
yeah, no, that's true. The one problem though is they don't have AOE. Well, they do, but it's rare quality. So
yeah,
you don't get many lightning storms.
yeah, that's a good point. It's not flame strike.
Simplexity says he's rank 5 with this Overload Shaman deck. All right, well I'm
Oh,
gonna check
nice.
it out.
Sweet.
I will check this out. This looks good. Yeah.
Stolen.
Bookmark. At it.
Stolen, just a legend. That's how
Oh,
you
Fire
do
Guard
it.
Destroyer's in here. Too long.
Oh, and a guide too. Crap.
And I'm so in on this. I will report to you tomorrow, Simplexity. Maybe if I find time to play this. Oh man, this is exciting. This is really exciting. Although-
One thing that I think I want to like kind of wrap up ESL with is I just want to see this be this seems to be the best. You've got this, and you had Seat Story. It was amazing. And I feel like we're starting to get to the point where we're getting kind of like some majors that are repeating and having won these. You've got like your Dream Hacks and stuff like that,
Yeah,
which have
Dream
had
Hacks
their
next
problems, but I feel like we're starting to get kind of a sense of like these big major Hearthstone tournaments that are going to always kind of be going year round, and the winners of them are going to be kind of like vaulted up when they win these tournaments, and that's really exciting to me. And it's kind of seems like it's all kind of fallen into place. So like as soon as this was done, they're like, can't wait for season 3, and it's just like it's going to keep getting better and better and better. And the casting was phenomenal, the production value was phenomenal, and I'm just glad that these tournaments are apparently making them money, so that they keep wanting to do them, which is really really good. So. Yeah, sure, people joke about how Hearthstone is, RNG based esports, whatever, but it's very it's here to stay. It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like these productions are amazingly well done. So I was just
It's feeling a lot like when when StarCraft 2's esports really first kind of hit its good stride, and you had this nice, you had options for the tournaments you wanted to watch, and you could like pick your favorites. Like I would always watch GSL, and it's like, oh, I know, MLG is also going on, and Kespa's got their thing going on over here, but GSL is my tournament of choice. I love it, and ESL is kind of getting to that point for me. I think this might be my tournament of choice to watch.
I just like the tournaments with Frodan. Oh wait. That's every turn.
That's all of them.
Single Hearthstone.
He's the guy. He's the voice of Hearthstone.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too.
Got a good voice.
Yeah. You got to have those guys, You got to have like the guy who's like the signature guy in all the different games because, he kind of ties it all together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I really everyone go check out Nidra's article over on GhostofGamers.net because it goes into a lot more detail that we didn't bring up here. But yeah, Meta's in a good place. It's in a good place, and it's funny. Closing thought. Blackrock Mountain, doesn't really seem like it did all that much, but it did like just enough. The big thing obviously is it gave us a new warrior archetype, which is actually pretty huge when you think about it. We've been stuck with Control Warrior. Only really, and that's it for constructed Hearthstone. But outside of that, didn't have a huge impact. But it doesn't really matter. It gave like just enough little garnishes here and there to mix things up, and now we have multiple archetypes across almost every single class that are viable, with the exception of maybe Priest.
Yeah. But this is how it works. Like people who want it to be a huge game changer every time they put some new cards out, you probably don't have a lot of experience with card games in the first place, right? Because, even like with Magic, like sure they put out a whole new set and everything changes, but still people kind of end up playing mid-range aggro. Like they kind of, they still end up doing kind of the same thing with different tools.
Yeah, and it's different in different formats as well.
Yeah,
but,
sure. But
obviously,
it's not gonna.
It's shaken up pretty hardcore anytime a new set comes out. But
again, it's like. Not every card is good. Some cards make it in. Most cards don't, and that's kind of how it works with this, with a little bit smaller of a set. So
yeah,
it's just how it's going to work.
More of the reason I want an emphasis on some type of competitive limited format in Hearthstone, because right now, bad card comes out, you just ignore its existence entirely. Mm-hmm. If you're playing limited, you might have to play that bad card.
Yeah.
So.
Which I really like. I liked having those. So, the other thing, the Magic draft we did because of D-Day being here at game night was so successful and fun that they decided they're going to make it a thing now. So we're going to start getting Magic drafts at game night every once a month or something like that.
I need to move to a city where things happen.
And the internet works.
I don't get it, man. I've been doing this for 4 years now. Never had this problem, ever. So, but according to Verizon, it's not happening.
No.
No, it's just they don't see it. It's not wool over their eyes. Mm-hmm. So, let's take a few emails before we end today's show.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
Just quickly, do you get my message?
Yep.
Oh.
Hello, brother.
You can send your emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. Jocelyn, who's our first email from today?
First email comes to us from Constantine. Says, "Hey, Mother Cluckas, I have a fun little game for us to play. With the introduction of Magni Bronzebeard hero, Blizzard will probably be introducing alternate heroes for the remaining other 8 classes. Since all 3 of you are long-time World of Warcraft players, what are your guesses as to what the other alternate heroes will be for the remaining classes? Just want to pick your brains and have fun listening to your guesses. Thanks, guys and gal. Love the show."
Oh God.
So. There are so many for some of the classes, and then other ones I was just like, man, I'm totally reaching. Like, outside of Arthas for Pally, like, do you guys have any idea who might potentially be Pally? Like, the only one I could think of is the Blood Elf Paladin, the head of the Blood Knights, and I can't even remember her name now.
I can't either, but I'd be down for that.
But you know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah. Who the
Well, there's the Space Goat Paladin though, right?
Yeah, there's a ton of paladins. Yeah, there's a Space Goat.
Grell?
Marad.
Yeah, Murad.
Oh, yeah, Murad.
Odd. You also have
I totally forgot about him.
from the end of Wrath of the Lich King, who's always yelling, Arthas! Tyrion Forger. Well, he's a
card, though.
already, yeah.
See, and this is the thing, like...
I think you two are crazy. I don't think that's a limitation that they are going to put in the game.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I think that's just how it's going to go. Like,
I think that's... Well, because if you look, like, we don't have a Thrall card. We don't have a Garrosh card. We don't have, any of these. I don't think
But if you also
we're going to see the crossover.
Hunter becomes super weird because the card Call Pet is 100% based around Rexar. So if you have a hero as your portrait other than Rexar, Call Pet gets weird. But there's no way they're going to put themselves in that box. They're going to break their own rules and move on with their lives. It's not that important.
See, yeah, Hunter I think is really hard too because like Rexar obviously is so tied to beasts. But then like you've got a whole bunch of like ranger type characters, like all the Windrunners. So you could go that way, but I don't know, it doesn't feel huntery to me. Maybe I'm just
Yeah. Well, wait, is Tyrande a hunter?
Tyranda's a priest.
Oh.
Sure, I think Tyranda's going to be the
Technically,
priest.
she's a priest.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she has like a bow and stuff. What?
Yes.
All right.
She's
Whatever.
the high.
She's the high
Look,
priestess.
This is
Yeah.
where it's like going to become very obvious that I know very little lore in a game that I play all the time. But that's fine.
I read so many of the books. I'm so stoked for this question.
If if Terpster was here, Terpster would be like, oh, well, it should be the guy from patch 2.1 who was in the thing. All right.
Okay, I don't
the
know patch
quest line
numbers.
where you went down. No. I don't know all that stuff. I know some of the big ones, and then that's about it. So I don't know. I personally have no idea who they're gonna
No?
use. No, I have no idea.
Who was Darian Mograin's dad? He was a paladin.
know.
Sure.
He was the original guy to wield Ashbringer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
WoW Wiki Alexandros Mograine, also known as the Ashbringer, was one of the leaders of the Silver Hand and the original wielder of the Ashbringer.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, relatives. And then he had Elena was the mother. You got Reynault over there. You got Fury,
Wiki
his
wins
mount.
again.
You got, Idalis.
God.
Yep, I know all this stuff, man. I'm telling you. I'm not looking
Yeah,
this up at all.
Discrax in the chat room poses a really good question. Who are the other druids? Because
Oh my god, Hamel Rune Totem. He's like the archdruid Tauren guy? No? Oh.
Who is this?
Oh,
No,
the Archdruid Tauren guy. Of course.
Yeah,
didn't I
he was
think of
like he does like all the training and stuff. He's in like all the stories with Malfurion and
Oh, okay. All right. No, I believe you. That's a good point because when WoW originally launched, only Tauren and Night Elves could be druids.
yeah, and we don't have any Tauren heroes, so I think that'd be really cool.
Well, that would make sense. He's not super iconic, but yeah, no, you're right.
But outside of Malfurion, I guess there's another Alliance druid guy. Oh crap, what's his name? Brawl or something? Oh, I can't remember now.
I don't know what to tell you.
Can't remember.
Dude from the comics?
No, he's not from comics. He's from the books.
Oh, okay. Because
Anyways.
the comics with like the bear claws and it's like a total badass. But
Yeah. And people are talking about whether they're going to stick to like an alliance option and a horde option. But
yeah, I mean that would
I don't
make
really.
sense.
It would kind of make sense because it would give you the option to choose your faction, but at the same time, like they're going to have to dig pretty far to try to find like horde priests who aren't already. Because I mean, Vol'jin is the obvious answer to that one, but he's already a card. Or like an alliance warlock, like. I don't know. I feel like there's just some classes that are really hard. You have to dig really deep into lore, and there's just so many other options that, you might end up with two on the Horde side or two on the Alliance side. But I think they're better that way. I'd rather more recognizable heroes as opposed to keeping the factions.
I mean, Alliance Warlock's really easy. It's whoever the dude was that summoned Jiraxis. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Isn't it something? Oh, it was Fizzlebang.
Yeah, Wilfred Fizzlebang.
Fizzlebang.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
There is your Alliance Warlock, and it makes even more sense with Jiraxis already in the game that he would kill the.
There's a huge list of. You've got Zardeth of the Black Claw. You've got Gimriz Shadowcog. You can choose that guy.
Can't help it.
Maximilian Crow. He's a warlock trainer at level 10. If you know.
Oh,
go
there
that
you
route.
go.
Yeah.
Nah,
Everybody knows
you
that
Just
guy.
bring all the trainers from.
Or like why you gotta be so
Orgrimmar
sexist?
and Stormwind.
Why you gotta get Wilfred when you can get Danny, the female Fizzwizzle? Oh, that's not Fizz. Wait, what? Never mind.
It's just got to be Wilfred Fizzlebang, man.
I
Yeah.
guess.
All of his emotes could just be. They wouldn't even need to record new lines of dialogue. You just put random lines from his summon access in, even if they don't make sense.
Uh,
Um,
I think we'll see Kalthus though as the mage.
Sure.
Yep.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
that I'd probably buy that. Yeah.
You think so? Oh,
Yeah.
yay! We found another one that'll make you
I
throw
like-
down your dollars.
I like Kalthas. I like Kalthas enough. I think. Yeah.
What about Sharonde? You're all about her.
Oh, if it's an elf, I'm probably buying it. Like it's just
Fair enough.
that's all you need to know at this point. I mean, listen, Lord of the Rings fans, you're either a Legolas or you're a Gimli. Like there's,
That's true.
I don't bust out your D&D books and be like, well, no, there are also all these other. No. It boils down to you either like Gimli or you like Legolas. So
Cho'Gall's a warlock. You always go with
I know he was
Cho'Gall.
my warlock pick
Yeah.
because an ogre hero, so cool.
That
yeah,
would be
that'd
cool.
be really and the emo or does Cho'Gall have more than one head off the top? Yes.
Yeah,
He does. He has
So
two.
the emotes could be different. His different heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool.
Technically, Cho is one head and Gal is
And
the
Gall's
other head.
one. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be see. So it doesn't even have to be faction specific because that one is just kind of faction neutral.
Kill
Um,
Jaden. You got as well. You got a lot of big names in here.
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't decide if like the
Kill Jaden.
demons really counted as warlocks.
I was about to say, isn't Kill Jaden
Yeah.
more of like a god?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but listed as a. And by the way, here I'm seeing Kael'thas listed as a warlock as well.
He starts as a mage and then he
Oh, and then turns to
progresses
the
down
dark
the
arts.
dark.
Got
side.
it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but he's considered more a mage.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know that Acolyte of
I
Pain?
love these. Did you know things?
Acolyte of Pain's artwork is Morzel Bloodbringer, who is a warlock.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
What? All right.
Oh yeah, we're missing. We haven't talked about Rogue. I think Rogue is pretty easy. I think it's going to be
anyway. I
Garona.
don't know. Let me
Who?
confirm that.
Garona. She's from.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I believe you are correct. Or Van Cleef's daughter would also work.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't she Vanessa?
I
Cleef?
couldn't remember her name because I've only run the new version of
Boom.
Mines a couple times.
Boom, it's in chat. Morzel
There you
Bloodbringer. Yep.
How cool! Wow.
Today
They-
I learned.
They didn't.
Don't you feel like so much of a better, well-rounded WoW player now?
Yes.
You know all this lore.
Yep.
I'm just enjoying looking at the 3D model and then looking at the illustration and being like, wow, you really were a slave to your reference there, Mr. Illustrator. No creative license was taken.
Nope.
Oh, awesome. Anyways, Dills, you want to take the next email?
Yes. Okay. This comes from Matt, who says, "Greetings, flared up foghorns. I've been playing Hearthstone since the official release, and I've been a loyal TAC listener since episode 3 or so. I absolutely love card games, and Hearthstone is probably the best one I've ever played, but I'm finding myself hitting the same wall I do with almost all other card games. I'm lacking motivation to continue to play a game I only win about 50% of the time. When I play other video games, I'm always progressing towards something or beating levels. The ladder system is pretty brutal for a commuter with a full-time job, a wife, and 2 kids. I feel I can't compete in ranked unless I feel I have nothing to work toward. So I find myself not wanting to log on as much. I love this game, but I'm just not excited to play anymore. I still listen to TAC every Tuesday on the drive to work, though. What can I do to fall in love with Hearthstone again? Please help." Wow. This is a touching little tale here, but when I could feel this. I definitely have times where I log into the game and I'm just like, what's the point anymore? You know? I'm just going to play a 1-drop on 1 and then 2-drop on 2 and, whatever, man.
I had horrible burnout after February and trying to keep up with Jocelyn.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, okay, so I think
Oh my God.
what you really need to do here is you need to make your, set goals that are reasonable and doable, and then just try to achieve those. It doesn't have, sure, they got legend in there, but you could say, that rank 5 is your legend because I can only play this amount of time. So if I get to rank 5, I'm pretty proud of myself. And that's I think important. And just or like we've said in the past, play fun decks, man. When I don't care anymore, like I lost all drive when I got to like rank 1 and was like ran out of time and stuff to like try again. I'm having a blast every time I play because I'm like, the Warriors are in the finals, right? So like the other night I just played all Warrior decks all night and I tried like mill Warrior and all kinds of weird stuff. And it's really fun. So just set different goals. Like try not to get caught up in what everyone else's goals are and do your own goals.
I find another thing too is just switch modes. If you play almost nothing but constructed, play arena for a bit. Even if it's not usually your jam, I have found, because I at the moment much prefer constructed to arena, even though really like limited Magic a lot. But anytime I get really burnt out in constructed, I go to arena, and despite the fact that it's not really particularly my jam, I always find myself having a good time. Usually because I take long breaks from arena.
Sure.
Yeah, and see, I do the same thing. Like when I get really frustrated with ladder, I'll go and I'll do an arena run and I'll go like 0-3 and I'll be like, oh, right. This is why I love constructed. And it just like, it's a total reset. And I'm just like, oh, ladder, I've missed you. Don't ever leave me again.
You know what you should do in arena too? Here's a fun thing to do in arena is like when you start drafting it, try to like pick try to like do a themed arena deck. It's hard.
I pick like everything on the left and then like everything on the right.
No, I mean like try to get all the Murlocs or try to get all the try to get all the spell power, and see if you can make a but
which is usually a terrible way to build an arena deck.
Sure, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you have some fun
games.
Fun
if it works.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I did one the other day where I just picked the lowest cost card every single time, and then just like. And I actually kind of smoked a bunch of people down. I just kind of was like, whee, my whole hand's on the table now, But
who needs cards?
Yeah, so if somebody had a single AoE, I lost, but I actually won some games, so it was kind of fun.
Tell me you were a weird class so you could call yourself like Zoo Priest or
I think I was Warrior. So I ended up with like a couple Fiery War Axes.
Zoo Warrior.
Zoo Warrior's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But it works with a lot. Like Paladin works really well with because you can always just you run out of cards and you're like, well, I'm just making 1/1s now, And those are fine.
Just
making dudes. Yeah.
Dude maker 5,000.
But yeah, just go out there and have a good time, man. Don't get too hung up. Or just stop playing for a while. That's fine too. You don't have to play all the time.
Make your own goals, I think, is a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, our last email today comes from Paul. He says, hi, Cluckers. I have a question about the meta and the way in which cards are collected in Hearthstone. You get packs and get random cards, and you build a collection, but let's be honest with the crafting system and the fact that cards aren't really limited. We have a game where everyone can have access to everything. Taking that into account, we have professional and expert players streaming, building, and refining decks for people to see and use. What is seen as popular is used by a huge amount of the player base. Yes, the meta changes, but we always end up with the same deck types in ranked because everyone has access to the same cards and the same deck lists. My question is, would you agree that by making the cards more difficult to obtain, we would have a game more like Magic where not everyone would have every card? If we had series of cards with limited time in which to earn packs and collect, players may end up with different card collections, thus creating a more varied meta. I do understand that there are always people that will collect everything, but for the majority of players, a world where cards are only available for a certain period of time may help the game. Thoughts? Keep up the good work.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think the fact that we're limited to 30 cards and there's always new cards coming out pretty much means that we're going to see a varied meta. The more cards we get, the more choices players are going to have to make, and I think that's going to vary the meta. And we've already seen it really with BlackRock and GVG.
We're still at a small enough set that, we're using only 30 cards, and it's the kind of, these are the settled on 30 best cards for this type of deck or whatever. But I think with Magic, you could say maybe that's true with tabletop Magic with your bros, but you're like watching pro tournaments. Everyone has all the cards, no matter how expensive it was to make that deck.
Exactly.
Their deck just cost them $400.
It comes down again to formats, which is I think we need more of in Hearthstone. Right now we have one that's competitive. It is constructed. It is every card in the game, and that is it.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Like that's what we. If you really want to see variation, you need different formats.
Yeah, at the moment, all we have is one. So
because I actually set about trying to build like a meta Magic deck, right? Once I realized how expensive everything was, I was like, well, let's pare this back just a little bit. I'll get the Siege Rhinos, okay? I can get those. Those aren't too crazy. But then I was like looking at like Thoughtseize, and I was like, I'm not spending $30 on Thoughtseize. And I need how many of them? 4 of them? No, I'm not, So
I think I have one of those sitting in the box somewhere. I should probably sell it.
Yeah, you should get it out there before it's not in the standard format anymore. So it's
Planeswalkers.
It's one of those things where it's like, you could make the cards harder to get. People will still just do the thing that's harder to get them, and then they'll still just play them. But yeah, you need to just adjust the formats to make cards not allowed, essentially, to create more variation. So we'll get that one day. There just needs to be more cards, I think.
Yep, more time.
Yeah,
more time needs to. Yeah, we need more time, which will bring more formats.
But I agree with Paul that there is an issue here, that it's the net decking and the very kind of, I wouldn't say the meta's like solved. You can always kind of innovate just a little bit by throwing in one different card here or there, or throwing some tech cards in, or altering some things to kind of personalize your version of a certain archetype. But you do see essentially the same version of the same decks, and that's just how it is right now.
Yep. Agreed. Hashtag limited Hearthstone.
Yep. Give it to us, Blizzard.
Get it trending.
Blizz, please.
If that button doesn't say limited, Garrett's totally just going to riot.
It's okay if it says tournament and then I go into it and there's an option.
There's limited in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will also accept that. I will also accept that. I actually prefer that because that also means hopefully more than 2 formats in the near future. So.
Yeah, really, we just need a whole, eventually there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be all sorts of weird stuff. But you can do this yourself right now. Just play your buddy and do weird stuff. Like when me and Garrett played Angry Chicken Offs and stuff like that. You can make weird rules for yourself. And
it was dumb, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
And random decks.
Random decks is fun as hell, yeah.
Yeah, very much like having fireworks fights with your friends when you're young. Dumb, but really fun.
Yeah, the other day, me and Cal played where we did kind of the thing where I picked 2 cards for him and he picked 2 cards for me, and then we had to build our decks around the cards that we ended up with, and then we played. That was super fun because you sat there for a second trying to, oh man, how am I going to build this Blingtron deck? And
I was going to say, what were your cards?
I can't remember exactly. I think we weren't doing legendaries, but he gave me some weird stuff. He gave me I think he gave me Fel Reaver or something like that. So then I was trying to pick.
So you built Mech Shaman?
I know I built what's the card that silences your entire board?
Master Spell?
No, Withering something. The 3/5.
Oh, your board.
Wailing Soul.
Wailing Soul. Thank you.
Yes.
So I built a Wailing Soul deck. So I put in Ancient Watchers and all that kind of stuff. With the idea was that I could play this Fel Reaver, but then I would silence my own board, and do stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh.
So just play all these really weird cards that have drawbacks, and then hope you get the silence.
Well, that's exactly. So I played all the ogres and stuff, and then anything that had some kind of drawback to it that was more powerful than it should be, and it was all right. I think he beat me though, but whatever. It was all right.
Do it in a priest, so you could also do Mass Dispel or.
But Mass Dispel only hits the other guy's board.
Yeah, that's the other
yeah.
guy's minion.
But you could play the 0 mana silence. I had to. The thing was, I also had to play owls and spell breakers too, because you can't rely on drawing the Wailing Soul. Every time,
Yeah. I apologize, guys. This shows how much I have used Mass Dispel.
That card's all over the meta. How can you not know exactly what it does?
First of all, priest. Not really meta. Secondly, Mass Dispel. Yeah.
Isn't that one of those cards though that when you first, I think it's a trap card. When you first play the game, you look at that and you go, "This is so overpowered," and I draw a card. Oh my god! And then you play, and you're like, "Nope."
Wait, minions can attack other minions in this game, and there's never going to be, very rare will there be a massive board of things I want to silence.
Exactly, and if there's a massive board of things you want to silence, you're probably going to lose whether you silence it or not. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's a very good point too. It's well, it didn't take away their attack power. I'm still gonna die.
Exactly. Yeah. You've already kind of screwed up if you've gotten to that point.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Well, thanks for the emails, everyone. And yeah, Paul, just because we don't necessarily agree with you, that was still a really good thought-provoking questions.
I agree with his issue. I don't think his solution is correct, but he brings up good points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Once again, send those emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. That'll do it for this show. As always, the Angry Chicken is supported by our epic patrons. You can become a patron by going over to patreon.com/TAC. If you become a patron, you get access to the TAC Skype account for the patron call-in episodes, as well as the after show video. There isn't always an after show, but when there is one, it goes up on the Patreon first. So thanks to the following patrons. Thank you so much to Jesse W., Larry, Jesse B.H., thank you to Thomas F. and Ian F. Thank you all so much for supporting the Angry Chicken. We really do appreciate it. And also, we appreciate those iTunes reviews, so keep them coming. This week, thank you to Higgly Piggly Jones. You guys are just trying to mess with me at this point. Thank you to KJ06, Ben Tobin, Bioagent, who said worth 1,600 dust. Oh, thank you, Bioagent. And Micro13, who said, may your crackle always hit for more than 3. Unless you're playing against me. May it always hit.
May it always hit for 3, yeah.
I want anti-spell power minions, damn it.
I cannot play, I want to play the Shaman with the Crackle, but when my I missed lethal by 1 the other day because my Crackle hit for 3, and I couldn't take it. I wanted to break everything. And I was like, this deck's not for me. This deck is not for me.
I want to break everything.
That's
awesome.
I felt a disturbance in the Crackle Rage Force, so that's what it was.
It was like, all I got to do is 75% of the time I'm going to win this game. Boom, 3, rage quit. Yeah.
Still had lethal on board, but just was so angry about
No, I did not have lethal. I was
rage
1
quit.
short of lethal because it didn't hit for 4. It was so frustrating.
Wonderful. Well, as always, the Angry Chicken is produced by amove.tv and frogpants.com. All of our past live shows and other videos can be found on youtube.com/starcastshow. I apologize for this week's video, as it will not have my image in it because I just found out my recorder never went. So I'm going to use your video, Dills, which means folks will get to look at that wonderful still of me screaming for no.
Nice.
But anyways, it is what it is. We hurdle placed in front of us. We just trip over it. It breaks, but we get up with our bloody knee and keep moving.
Sure.
I'm not very good at motivational speaking. I'm sorry. You can get our t-shirt over at slashloot.com. Got the Angry Chicken logo on it right there. Go pick one up. Follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast. Catch us live at Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/amovetv and also on alphageekradio.com. And thanks to BrianGriffithMusic.com for our intro music. Dills, where can folks find you?
I'm going to pimp my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/WillieDillsSF. I'll be mostly playing Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. I'm also going to give a shout out in my section here to Karma for being my replacement last week. Apparently she did a fantastic job. I listened to a bunch of it, and I thought so too. So thanks to... I've been wanting to have her on for a long time, and then I was like, I'm going to miss. You guys should get Karma. And then I was like, wait, I don't want her on when I'm not there. Damn it. But
we will just have her on again. I mean...
Yeah. She's awesome.
She was really great.
Yeah, so shout out to her. Go follow her. Her Twitch is Karma with an AAH at the end, but she's fairly easy to find. She's one of the... When she's streaming, she usually gets a decent number of people, so go check her out. And then come out to game nights on Tuesdays, and that's at Folsom Street Foundry, 10th and Folsom in San Francisco. Every other Tuesday we play a Hearthstone tournament, but even if you're not there for that week, we'll all kind of play Hearthstone anyway, and everyone has a good time. So come out any week.
Great. Folks should definitely check that out. Jocelyn, what about you?
Best way to find me and what I'm up to is on Twitter. That is at GIS Gamer. I also am here on AMove TV, usually every Friday night for Gamers In, but we're actually moving to a new night starting June 17th. We're going to be going Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So super excited about that because no more Friday nights. Yay! It means I can stream on Friday night and I can just relax because Friday night at 9:30 I was getting pretty tired.
Can go out on the town and tear it up on Friday nights? That's what you mean.
Probably not. But thank you for thinking I have a social life.
I mean, I don't know. It's what I do on Fridays, so I figured you did the same.
No, I'm still going to stream and still going to chill with the chat room. It's
That's
just,
actually what I do.
I don't
most
have to
often
be
anyway.
on my podcast host game
Yes.
at 10 o'clock on Friday
Yes.
night. Big difference. So yeah, I'm really excited about that change. So you guys should check us out. Again, that's just here on AMove TV.
I'm just going to start a new show where I force all of you to do a podcast with me at 10 o'clock on Friday night. But the key is we all have to just sit there and drink and talk about whatever comes up.
Okay.
Perfect. That I could do.
No prep, all alcohol, unfiltered.
All right,
Perfect.
let's get the Patreon going.
Love it. Yeah.
Next Patreon goal.
Let's make this happen.
We'll just call it unfiltered.
There you go.
Done.
Oh, delightful. The thing I really want to pimp this week is the Fireside gathering in Orlando that'll be happening on June 20th. Again, go to meetup.com/Florida Fireside. Come on out, hang out, play Hearthstone, beat me. I never win against anybody. That's a lie. Last time I think I only lost to one person, but nonetheless, if you are playing Rogue, you will probably beat me because I still lose against Rogue. Always happens.
Rogue's good.
We're having our Fireside Gathering 16-player qualifier tournament. Going to be just playing some fun games, doing random decks. So come on by. Again, meetup.com/Florida Fireside, June 20th. See you guys there. Follow me on Twitter at Garrett Art. Check out my graphic design portfolio over at nomoonart.com and go hear me rant about Heroes of the Storm over on Into the Nexus. Also, check out our sponsors, doghouse-systems.com. Code to use is TAC. Get you a 120 gigabyte solid state drive added onto your gaming rig. So go use that code, support the show, get a free solid state drive. Have a good time. That'll do it for this week's show. We'll be back next week for episode 87. But until then, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes! Had a little bit of a
Wind
ramp up on that one.
Wind up.
So good.
Yes! All right, I gotta do another show. Oh, and I'm dying over here. Too much talking. So I wish I could hang, but I can't. That sucks. So Garrett, do you need me to do anything to get this file? I don't have it saved anywhere.
Oh, crap. Really?
No, I don't. Mine doesn't save anywhere. It just goes to Twitch.
Shit.
You can still grab it from Twitch,
You can
dude.
still grab it from Twitch. Yeah, it's just
How?
gonna be Twitch's version.
I haven't done this in so long.
There's a way. I don't know how.
There's a way. Jocelyn, do you know
way.
how?
I haven't done it in a long time, but
Let me see.
Late.
Let me see. There's like a
Well, if it's a-
tool. Okay, here. Try this.
okay. If it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna drop because it is like 1 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah. Try this, Garrett.
Twitchtools.com/.
Yeah.
bye, bye, chat room.
Hey.
Bye, 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 bye.
I'll try to get it too, and I'll see what I can do. But I already get set up for this other thing now. So
All right, sweet.
yeah, don't worry about it right now. Whatever.
No worries.
Post
Kill the
podcast.
stream so that the video goes up and I can do this.
Got it.